Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live Scribbles with Jonathan. You can check out my website and my work at jonathanrector.com. And if you guys wanted to head on over to patreon.com, I just actually made an update, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before that. I'm not sure. What I'm doing, or planning on doing, is tonight we're going to be working on more Worlds in Peril. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. However, once that's done, we're going full production into Castle Dracula. And what I want to do to help promote my Patreon account is that I'm going to be not producing, I shouldn't say, but I'll be uploading all kinds of what's the correct word that I want to use for it? I don't want to call it what the hell, concept art, production art, scripts, all kinds of stuff, full resolution. Basically, I'm going to treat it as, if you guys are remotely interested in the Castle Dracula project, I know we've drawn some pictures from here and there, but you guys have no clue what it's about. You just know it's got a word in there, and it's got some drawings posted here and there, and more will be revealed as I create it as well. So, if you guys are interested in that, keep your ears perked, and you guys will be able to download some of that stuff once we get that going. I would say probably within a month is when I'll be starting to do that, and it should be pretty fun. I'm going to be doing a whole little overhaul of the Patreon thing, so yeah, we'll check that out. I'll give you guys more updates as we go. I don't want to stay on that too much. I did want to just quickly say as well, thank you to everybody that is a Patreon. You guys are amazing, and you guys know who you are, and I really appreciate it. And I know there's a few people in the chat that are members, so I wanted to say thank you guys specifically. And I'm going to try to get names so I can call you guys out when you're when you're out there, just to say a personal thank you as well. And I believe I've got about two or three actual appointments this week. This week should be pretty busy and fun. I know Lars is in the chat. Him and I will be talking on Friday, going over some of his projects, his work, any kind of questions he's got. So if you guys are interested in that, head over there and see what you guys get. So what are we going to do today? What do we want to do today? We're going to do some Worlds in Peril. We're at the tail end. We're at the tail end of these pinups, and then we get to jump into the double page spreads, which is really exciting. It's a buttload of work, but I think you guys will dig it. I know I'll dig it. So we're going to start right from the beginning. So we're going to go right to thumbnail sketch. I don't know how far we'll get in an hour. If I'm lucky, we can push and get to pencils, but I haven't read which one we're going to be doing just yet, so we're going to figure that as we go. And if you guys had any questions or comments, if you guys need help with anything, by all means, please, this show's for you guys. So ask in the chat. I just ask that you guys put it in capitals. That way I can see it very quickly. I will say, too, I didn't catch your name. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but somebody had posted something what they saw me this morning, and you were scared or something to come say hello. I find that funny. If whoever that is, if I see you wherever you saw me this morning, that's probably where Drake you known. Okay, so maybe do we know each other personally, or do you just know me from my voice? Am I? That's so creepy. But anyway, if tomorrow or the next day, if you're ever downtown Windsor, I work very close to probably where you saw me there. So come say hi. Maybe we'll in the summer when it starts to warm up. Actually, guys, you want to hear something crazy? In Windsor right now, what is this? It's the end of April, right? End of April, and it was snowing. It was snowing today. What in the hell is going on? So maybe in the summer we'll get some sketchbooks so we can hang out. We can do a little jam there. Hey, Will. An is saying, John, you sell standard original art page for number 1 or so price range? If I have it, I'm not sure. I will say that there's some stuff with the standard coming out. I don't know if I can say too much just yet, but a lot of that. Oh, you saw me at Timmy's. Right on. I think I was actually getting some apple strudels this morning. But there's some stuff coming where there might be prizes or stuff. I don't know. Just John Lee's and the Comics Tribe's peeps. They asked me if I had any original artwork and stuff. So please keep asking me, and we'll see what we can do here. No, it definitely isn't really any. Definitely really isn't an answer. Okay, so see you later, Batman and stuff. Let's go back here. Oh, and I did want to say as well, this will be like the last update here before we get to some drawing talk, and just say hello to everybody and all that good stuff. this week I plan on filming the next questions and answers video. I believe it's been about a month now, maybe a little over. So if you guys had any like specific questions that maybe you'd like addressed in my questions and answers, that's very difficult to say. My questions and answers video, by all means, please contact me, through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any way you can. Email if you want, and I'll definitely add that into that as well. And how far is the standard online? That I'm not sure. And we may as well do a plug for that. I've actually been pretty quiet with a lot of the standard. It's being released right now as a webcomic online. I believe it's a page a day. And just give me 1 second here, and I'll pull it up for you guys. You guys can check it out. You guys can, I believe issue 1 is already uploaded in its fullness. So here it is here. It's just loading. Let's bring it down here onto this guy. So right now we're on to page. Oh man, look at this stuff. It's so old that it's hard to look at. It's proud to be done and stuff. Even Will's in the chat room as well. He did a phenomenal job on the book as well to help. He helped everybody out by. He was our superhero when the times were grim and the days were dark. Will suited up and he slung some art. That turned into some weird poetry there for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, we're on page 26. So actually, I think there's 28 issues a page if I remember. So issue 2 is almost done. Then we're going to jump right into issue 3. So you guys can check over, what is it? thestandard.comicstribe.com. Check it out. You can go right back to the first page. And what's actually really cool is John's been adding this stuff right here, behind the scenes sort of stuff. And if you go back, I believe the start of issue 2, I kind of had we'll say a little pretend interview or whatever, just talking about when I made my first transition to digital. So you guys might be interested in that. Definitely check this out. And there you go, page 1. We got our cover there. Good stuff. And there you go, a little launch. So check it out. Go give John some love. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of fun stuff. You guys are too much. Okay, so let's close up some stuff here at Manga Studio. I will give you a little update, I guess, with the Huey Lewis GT220 here. Still rocking out, still going good. My pen actually died, though, which is kind of a bum out. They did send me a second one that came with it when I bought it. And I'm contacting them right now, and there's this whole process that they need me to record a video to see exactly what's wrong with it, like why it doesn't draw and stuff. So I do plan on having another video up, just a little quick month update, but so far everything's getting better. It's sort of like the first time you use a tablet in general, or a Cintiq, if you are fortunate to be able to do one of those guys, and it's awesome. It's got a little learning curve to it, just like those devices had, but I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. Here, let's say it properly here with all the words, comfortable. And so yeah, good stuff. So if anybody's, I think I saw some people, you guys were chit-chatting back and forth about tablets and stuff like that. So you guys can check that out. Right, so let me just pull up my PDF that I need here, just so I can find out what drawing we're going to do, and then I can get it started. Okay, where are we at here? I'm trying to see if there's something fun we can do. I'm done drawing her. A swarm of her nanobots. Right? That might look cool. Let's go put alien creature. Alright, so let me check here. I just want to see the page sizes, and I'll let you guys decide which one we're going to jump into here. See what you guys want to see. 192. Those are both pretty fun. What do we got at 194? Yeah, okay, we'll do this. You guys let me know. You can vote for number 1 or number 2. And we got a question here. So, you guys just start pumping. Jeez. Just put in the chat number 1 or 2, whatever you guys would like us to draw for today, okay? So, option 1 is a character named Letost. And you guys might not know her. If you guys do remember, she's sort of like Venom. I'm trying to draw her a little bit like Venom from Marvel Comics. And she's got all these nanobots that kind of make up her costume. I have some cheats around that because I think a lot of people, when they ask you to draw certain things, at least I don't want to do it, is even though your costume is made up of nanobots, like that's if you want it to look cool, you can't draw all of them all the time. But anyway, so option number 1 is Litost with a swarm of her nanobots around her looking menacing. And then the next one would be some kind of completely alien creature, maybe one of those aliens that was invading in one of our original double page spreads. So you guys let me know. Number 1 for Litost, and number 2 for excuse me, number 2 for the alien thing. Both are about the same size here, so I'm just going to get it set up. Yeah, we can go ahead and stick with that. That's fine. Lars is picking options that just don't exist. One for boobs. Okay. When you see the boobs here, they're nothing impressive. I like to treat her sort of just as like a. You'll see. It doesn't matter. It looks like number 1's going there. Okay, so we're gonna do number 1 here. So let me just turn all this off here, and then I'm just gonna go back to that question and answer it for you, pal. Just give me one quick second here. This is gonna be gray. Sure, gray's good. And what number were you here? 192. Okay. File, save as. All right. So let me just scroll up here. So, Hylan, hopefully I'm saying that name right. John, you said a long time ago that you went to animation school and you did not like it that much. Can you elaborate more on that? Sure can. So we'll do a very quick, brief history. We'll do that fading music stuff. Let me just pull up my reference here. So, at the tail end of high school, I guess, okay, so at the tail end of high school, I was failing art left and right for a couple reasons. One was mostly I just didn't want to do the work. I didn't like doing the artsy fartsy stuff that high school art required us to do, or at least my school did anyway. And it was a lot of just, like make prints, make paint, learn paint color names and stuff. I mean, nowadays I kind of envy a lot of people that are in school right now, because you guys have the access to the internet right now, which is crazy. Like you can find anything you want, art related and otherwise, right? You can check out your favorite artist, you can check out your favorite anybody, manga artist, all that stuff, and you can just draw all that. Back in the day, it was just trying to find magazines or whatever you could go and grab your eyes on and stuff, right? But anyway, so during all that time, nothing was really happening, and it was getting close to that time where everybody, or the teachers and the counselors and stuff, they're sort of starting to push you. Like, what do you want to do with your life? And I had no idea. I had no clue. Draw something. If I could draw for the rest of my life, at the time sounded great. Yeah, let's do that. But that meant anything, right? That meant it could be graphic design, it could be animation, comic books. I enjoyed comic books, but I was more into video games. So, concept art, just make video games. Such a broad thing. So I was all over the place, and near the beginning of the second semester, I believe it was, we had a local college come by, and they were starting a new course. I think it was only open for like a year or two since then, and they were doing an animation course, and they were using a lot of buzzwords and fun things like Disney hires people from here, and wow, that's a big name. That's a huge name. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. And it was the only college around. I mean, university was out of town, but I wasn't really ready to leave home, like where you grew up, where your friends are, and all that stuff. So the only real reason I went there is because it was the only art option that was around. So that was basically it. I didn't really have a passion for animation, and I didn't have a desire to keep going with it. Once I got there, it was a blast. I met a lot of really cool people, a lot of friends. A lot of comic book artists were there too, people that just love comics, and it was cool because my art style was copying a lot of other artists, right? And especially, I had moved away from anime and manga, but I was getting into Joe Madureira at the time was a fucking amazing person that I came across. I still remember there's a Jim Lee X-Men cover I had, but I wasn't really a huge Jim Lee fan until later. But like proper comics and like Kirby and stuff, if I looked at that stuff, it would make me throw up. I just couldn't stand it. It didn't have enough style. It wasn't cool. So anyway, did all that, and then when I was going through the motions at school, I started getting into a lot of the same stuff where it was like animating was fun. It was cool bringing my drawings to life and all that. But once I found out that I would at best be an in-betweener, and for those of you that don't know animation or don't know, what's it called? Jeez, what's the word? What an in-betweener is for animation. So let's just say real quickly that we've got Joey Stick running this way, and then he's going to jump. These are called keyframes. This to this, 1 to 2, that doesn't work. It's called popping. That animation doesn't work well. You need to have like this animation in between it, right? So this to here looks better. Now this is a keyframe artist. This to me was at best what you could do through animation. When I found out that I'd be an in-betweener, what that means is I'm the guy in charge of drawing how this pose turns into this pose, how this pose turns into that pose, and how many images you want in between it to get that. It killed it for me. The magic was gone. Magic was absolutely gone. And I made a decision then where maybe I'm not liking this, and that's basically why I left. And then I came across through my day job that I came across a Marvel artist at the time, and we started talking, and he liked my stuff. I guess I think he just wanted another artist to talk to, maybe help out, and he did a tremendous job, and he helped me a lot. And that really started turning me on to comics as a real possibility. And then the fact sort of crept in that I could be the guy that does everything, and I really like that. I like that idea. And then it took me a long while. I know this isn't your question, and I'm just rambling here about the past, but some people might find it interesting. And then I started to find out that, okay, so when you're getting hired to do people's books with them, you're part of a team. But that took me a while to really click in, because for a long time, right, at least I did. A lot of artists I find that I talk to, it sounds like they feel the same way, where you're the artist, so you're the big shot. The writers, yeah, they're good, but they're coming for the art. And it's such an artist mentality that we're just here for the art. But it took a while for me to realize that I'm just making a product with everybody else, and we're all doing the best we can, including the inker, the redder, the letterer, editor, all that stuff, right? Those very important positions, and those people are the ones that help just make the glue. Like, we're all the individual blocks, and the comic book is the glue that holds everything together, right? So that's basically how it goes. So yes, after that, it's been comics ever since. And just now, that was back in like, oh my god, I graduated in 2000 in high school. So what the hell years now? 2015. So it's 15 years ago. Oh my god, what have I done in that time? But it's taken me all that time to get up to where I am now. I work for a wonderful video game company, and this will be the last client project that I take for a while. And I actually saw this video too, and I thought it was really funny. They were talking about it was, I don't know how, you know how sometimes you'll be on YouTube and one video leads you to another, then all of a sudden you're in weird spots of YouTube that you didn't think you were gonna go to. What it was I started getting into American Idol fail videos and stuff, and I don't know, it's still funny to see people struggle. I think we all get a kick out of that. We all watch. If you watch TV or you watch things online, there's something about you don't like. Probably you don't want to be the one failing, and you don't like necessarily seeing it in real life. But since it's on TV or something like that, you know what I mean? It's just cool. Anyway, they were talking about this one girl. You need to leave and just find your own voice, and that sort of sat with me for a little bit. Like, you know what? That's exactly what I need to do, and I'm excited to do it. just doing my own stuff. Who knows what comes from it? I just want to keep drawing, do my own thing. Who knows? Just enjoy being an artist. That's all I want to do. Just have the chance to enjoy being an artist, see where it takes me. There's no pressure. If I suck at something, I don't have to learn it on the job anymore. I can just learn it. And it's a big weight off my shoulder. And who knows what happens in 6 months' time, a year, 10 years, right? It's a liberating thing here. So Noah, excuse me, sorry guys, is asking, John, do artists get annoyed if you send them emails out of the blue? Everybody's different. I guess the easiest question would be to ask yourself, would you be annoyed if somebody just out of the blue sent you an email? And I guess it also depends on what's in that email. If you got an attitude and things like that. Normally I don't mind myself, but I don't reply to every single email I get either, right? If I've got the time to, I would love to, but I think it's good courtesy just to ask people before you go ahead and send stuff. All right, so, hey, no problem. I know it's a little long-winded. What we're doing here, I got to get used to this here, guys, and I apologize. I've said this last video, and I'll say it again. If you guys need me to zoom in, please just say zoom in, and that way I can see it. And if I go, I'm working on the bigger tablet now, so to me this is comfortable. This is what it would be like if I was on a Cintiq, but it's very zoomed out. So I just looked at the stream right now and I realized it's pretty zoomed out there. Yeah, we need to do a happy sketch time soon. Will and I, Will, he's on the other side of the world from where I am, and he's very busy doing his book, and I'm busy finishing this project up. So I would hope that it would happen sooner than later, but it's when the stars align for some of this stuff. All right, so what we're doing here is I'm just doing thumbnails, nothing special here, but I'm looking for shapes, power shapes, all that stuff. So I have a very quick gesture of a line, like some line drawings in here. The next thing we're going to do here is I'm just going to pick a color here. We'll go with that. That's fine. I'm just going to use the lasso tool. And this is going to help me decide which one of these I want to push a little further or take. And what it does is it makes a silhouette, right? And I need to have her hair here, so maybe we can do the classic kind of guide your eye around. So what this does is I can see it very quickly which one to me at least feels good, feels like it's got the power or the whatever emotion is I'm trying to go for here. And what a silhouette is if you were just to like fill this character with black. I'm using a color here so I can still see the line art. If I like the hair like that or not, but you can see these very quickly what you like, like if one pops, one, or they all just suck. I'll usually do about 3 or 4 of these. Again, it depends on the project, how much time you got to do these. This is my favorite stuff, this kind of stuff here. So much energy you can get into this, and like, how long is this taking to me? And I've been talking too. If this was just on my own, like once we start getting into thumbnails for comics and stuff again, like this, I love this. This stuff just, I don't know. I can just turn music on and just zone out and just do this. I love this stuff. Oh yeah, this character is very masculine. You guys said you wanted to see boobs. Good luck. There's not going to be much here. I'll actually bring the character down so you can see her. You guys have seen her before, but it's been such a long time. So this is her here. And I'll bring up another picture so you can see. This is the, I don't want to say the concept. These are like rough character designs here, okay? There was one other one that I did with her. Let's just go ahead and go into the color. I'll bring that one open so you guys can see it. We did it a while ago here. So here's a whole bunch of stuff we've been working on. This coloring is starting to, when it gets time to do flats and stuff, just a bum out. There it is. What is this one? PNG? That should be fine. So this is, I guess, more of a final look that I'd be going with her. So let me just zoom in so you can see her. It is a PNG or whatever, but this little like debris stuff, this is my nanobots. I'm not going to go in there and draw them. It's not it doesn't deserve an extreme close-up for something like that. So yeah, I like the idea of her just like, it's an alien thing over her body, right? So that's the idea I'm going there with them. So the voluptuous, curvy women stuff, like that's boring. That's boring stuff. I hate that. Sometimes you need to draw it, right? Some people love drawing it and stuff, but I find drawing women just to be too complicated. Not in a like, okay, well, everything needs to be perfect, because there's a general thing that needs to be done when you draw women. If something's off weird, people just assume it's the ugliest, she's drawn wrong, whatever, right? And God forbid you draw any female that has like a body shape like, you know, like she's got hips or something and like big thighs. You know, like, if you were to draw superheroes with, I mean, like legit features and stuff, everything looks like a Jim Lee drawing or something, you know, like you can't, for whatever reason, draw a female like this. Not that I don't want to say you can't. I'd say it's looked down upon by a lot of comic book readers. The way I find it, they'd rather have the, you know, like the weird kind of bodies where it's everything's triangles and like hips are shot way out like this, and then their butt's always perked up and the lines are always coming in, and they've always got the line right here at the crotch, you know, like this, and everybody's got these stupid implants. I hate it. It looks so, I absolutely hate this, to be honest. And if you like it, cool, knock yourself out. There's a style for everybody, right? This pisses me off so much. It just feels like it's a blow up doll. What is this? What is it? You know, but at the same time, when you draw guys, at least when I draw them, right, like a Superman body, my Superman's always got like traps. You know, like he's a triangle like this, but look at the size of his chest, and like, oh yeah, let's get some big shoulders out there. I remember reading in a muscle magazine that you can never have too big of shoulders, so you know, like no guy looks like this either. So there's that. I do read a lot of times people say stuff like, in comics, women are too sexualized and stuff. And okay, if you're drawing like sexual poses, cool. But at the same time, like nobody or rarely anybody complains when everybody looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or like just what is this? Look at these traps and what is that? Nobody cares as much as. But if you start drawing women like this, it's like, yeah. That's, you know, or people just start shaming you like, that's horrible, don't be drawn like that. So it goes both ways. Do what you want to do, whatever. I'm just saying personally, I like what I'm going with here is I'd rather have interesting shapes. This to me is not interesting shapes. To me. Not saying that this necessarily is on the left here, but it just seems a little bit more realistic in a way, even though that body type next to this this guy starts to feel a little out of place as well. So we'll end that rant. Actually, you guys are bringing up some good points there. There are definitely books out there that are a little open-ended. I was talking mostly in the general male readership. That's all. And I'm glad that there's a lot of manga and anime and animation especially coming into comics, like that style. There's so many, like there's I forget his name. He was doing Ghost Rider. I don't know what he's doing now, but his animation was insane. Like just the way everything moved was really cool. It was really cool. And I'm glad there's more of that coming in, and I hope anyway that it starts to move away from, I don't want to say that. It can do whatever it wants. I don't want to say what an art form should and shouldn't do. Okay, so we got one last pose. Let's just go through this here and see what we're doing. Luther Strode again. That's it. Thank you. I actually want to buy that and pick it up because that I saw a few pages and it looked absolutely amazing. Trad Moore. Thank you guys. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful artwork. And it's cool because there's like the very little shading. At least the stuff I saw. If there's like a lot of spot blacks and like line art, like just lines like this. You know, that build up your value as opposed to like this rendering here. You know, and I like both. It's just refreshing to see some stuff that's different, you know. All right, so let's see what we got here. We're going to pick one of these here. This one, I don't know, it feels sort of like I could put a shield in her hand and it's Captain America pointing off or something like that. This one, I actually really don't mind. I kind of like that one. It feels a little more visceral, a little more, you know, coming at you. This one here I like as well. It's got a little bit more heroism to it. There's not much fear and anger in it. So the next one we'll do here, let's see if we can get something. We need a body shot here, though. We can't just do a face. So maybe we can just start pushing some foreshortening here. Maybe we can have like a hand coming to get us. You can have your hands kind of all sticking out. We can figure out the hands we're going to do here. Maybe something like that. This one feels a little bit more visceral. Visceral. I like these words. Visceral. How much room do we have? Oh, they're just going to move the text around here, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, we could go with this one. I'm not against this one. Okay, so let's just fill it in again. See what our shapes are looking like. Visceral? Spell it? No, not gonna do it. I'm not that intelligent. Okay, I think. Oh, man, this is a toss-up. Toss-up. You guys let me know what you think. You guys can help sway my decision here. So for me, ooh, green, I guess. I like either here. Let's number them: 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to weigh some pros and cons here. We're going to do a little editing here, and you guys might get a kick out of this. So for me, this like I have to look at what my eye's drawn to. This one right here, where did it go? You're out. This one, you're out. There's not enough action. If you're a villain, I need some movement here. So it's a toss-up between 2 and 4. So let's go with number 2. Let's start going through some pros and cons. And I'm taking this step here a lot further than I normally would. I just figure you guys might get a kick out of it going like this. So number 2, I've actually seen this a lot, so it's not really unique. Not unique. Feels more like a spy, ninja, or like shadows. You know, like somebody that stays in the shadows. And I'm just looking for negatives. Obviously, I like it, so the pros are already there. Looking off in the, you know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do? Put a, it's a flat image. It's very straight on. It's safe. And this is a dangerous word here, safe. So I'm just going to highlight that. So let's go to the cons here. What I don't like about this one. Might be too... I'm going to put manga here with a question mark. Some people don't like it, right? Like it's too extreme. And I'm not saying that this is, but there could be that. What else we got here? Not enough body showing. I don't know. So okay, I'm just gonna go here and see what you guys are saying with. Okay, so we got a lot of people that like number 2. Somebody's saying if we could possibly combine it. Yeah, we could maybe have the arm in this one. Here, sorry, let me just... Sometimes I like working in Manga Studio, and then I hate working in it. Like this kind of stuff here when I'm editing just feels so... like... Photoshop, I can select layers and hit Control G, and it makes a folder for them, you know. And at least I haven't found out yet how you can do it in Manga Studio, so it just feels like I'm slugging along a little bit to edit this kind of stuff. Drawing is obviously, we all know, it's the bee's knees. All right, so let's see if we can just do some quick edits here on the fly. I'm not going to be spending too much time here. Outstretch the arm in 2. Yep, that's what we're going to try doing. Drawing the wolfie burned off skin border. 4, I did that one. I just like that it's on the left side, like the other pinup of the same character. Okay, so you guys don't know, I guess, all the specs for it. So this would be the page of the book, and this image is going here. It's silhouetted right now, and they're going to just put words around her. The next image we draw is the same thing on this side, okay? So I can't really flip her. That's why there's things right here that are like going against this. It works a lot. There's some flow that happens in number 4 here. You know, like you've got the hair kind of coming up here and the arm coming down, so there's this motion. That's why I was going like this with the leg up at the top. It's still the same motion. All right, so if we've got this, her arm's here, we'd have to move her arm up possibly. And so what I'm trying to do is I don't want to show too much. I like this leg that's down there. So maybe if we had her arm like this possibly. And this will go to white. I'm just going to fill that. So it'll be something like that. Oh gosh. It feels kind of like a saber-tooth pose. So here's the last part. I'll just edit with you guys. Is what is this character? It's not just what's a cool pose. What's the character's pose, right? Everybody knows. Everybody's got a pose. Good characters have a pose, right? If we were to draw Batman, I would say myself, the classic Batman pose is something where he's kind of hunched over. Like this, you know, and he's got some cool cape action, right? But to me, if I were the default Batman pose is that probably Rain, but that's more of a special effects thing. Even Spider-Man to me he's like on the ground like a spider, and he's got his legs up, you know, like there's your Spider-Man. Wolverine, he's hunched over. He's got to show he's like a cat. Or he's like a Wolverine. Well, I don't even know if Wolverines do it, but I picture him kind of like a cat. You know, where their back arches up, and they're trying to show all that fluff that they got back there. And then everybody always does. Usually, it's like his hands will be in the front here with the claws coming out, like he's arched forward. Probably looks a little better 3/4. Like his arms will be here. Then you get his legs. You know, like he's a ball. You got to go in there, right, like that. So that's where I'm kind of going with this. This character, I like to think of her like Venom, I guess. Like I said before, it's easy for me to just come up with or think of characters that exist and put a stereotype on them. The Hulk. I like to do like a gorilla, kind of like gorilla moves, that kind of stuff. So this character is like Venom. Now, which one would be like Venom? The second one is kind of cool. I can see the buildings and he's reaching at you. I feel like that's a lot of Venom kind of action. The thing that I'm really getting, like I can't stop looking at this one, this fourth one, is like these feel like knives coming at you. Your eye is going to be led to this. It's kind of like it's jumping at you, which makes it feel more threatening. Which is hitting a couple things. I could see Venom doing this. So, all right. So I want to say thank you guys for your feedback. I appreciate it. Should probably save it here. Didn't save it. We're gonna go with number 4. It's got a little bit more action. I like that. And there can be some feminine qualities we can add in this one. This one right here, at number 2. You know, even if I suck in the stomach here, like on the character, and bring this out, I don't know. It doesn't really feel. It feels a little bit more like a prowling cat as opposed to number 4 where it's like it's a word, like somebody with just claws coming at you, you know, like a vicious animal, like rabbit something. So we're going to go with that. So let's zoom out here and bring up the opacity there. Can you copy merge in this one? No way. Alright, so layer, flatten image, merge layers, whoops. And we're going to copy that. Make a new layer, paste it in. merge these guys down. All right, so the next stage here that we're doing is... Oh, it's already 8. Wow, we only got 20 minutes left here. So let's go. Internal pinups, we're going to go to roughs. This is where we're going to start doing our pencils and things. Okay, so I will say as well, what I'd like to do is we've been doing it for the last couple weeks here, so we're going to keep it going tonight. Go ahead, guys, get your artwork ready that you might want critiqued. Please have a reason why you'd like it critiqued, if there's something you need help with, or just a general, what do you think? Get that ready, and when I say we're good to go, go ahead and post it in the chat, and I'll randomly pick somebody, and we can do that. It's usually quite a bit of fun. Alright, so we got our image here. Let's just zoom out here. We're going to transform it. Here, I just need it bigger because we're going to draw it. In case you didn't know, we're going to draw it, guys. We're going to draw this image. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to make a new folder here. This will be our rough folder. Grab our pencil ready. Let's see what our eraser is. We're going to need that guy. Alright, so we're going to stay pretty zoomed out here, just so I can see what's going on. Let's take a look at our pencil. I'll go a little bigger than that. Alright, I'm going to actually bring it up gray a little bit. I don't like it when it's pure black. I feel like to me anyway, it loses a little bit of volume that you can get with a pencil. Kind of the whole point of using one. And this one down here, we're going to just lower the opacity a bit. You can just see it too much. She Carnage. Actually, there you go. There you go. That's the better way of saying it. Carnage, not Venom. I got them mixed up. Two randomly different kinds of styles of characters here. Okay, so I've got the energy here. Like, I can't lose the energy. That's the whole point of the thumbnail, is I can be loose and get all that. Now it's time to add some structure to this thing. Let's make it work. Okay, so I'm going to start with the arm. And I've been getting back into this lately of just basics. Cylinders, squares, triangles. So this would be where that goes. I'm trying to, there's a lot of artists I see doing this. I'm trying to understand how they do this, and I'm just trying to remember where they go. They'll break these lines up as well, right? So they'll add a second line here, and what this represents is everything here where the X is, that's where the muscles in the forearm go, and then it's kind of like they all turn into tendons here. And what that lets you do as well is, you can get crazy. So as long as this is straight, I can go boom and start adding some really sweet muscles in here, and then as long as all in here is kind of like tamed, you can kind of play it in there. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do, but that's really cool about that's what's really cool about doing this sort of thing. I can worry about the structure here and then do all that stuff later. I'm going to go ahead and draw through it here. And this arm is pretty straight. But you can see how short it is, right? And up there, that line represents the shoulder. And I'm going to go ahead and just signal in where the what's it called? Elbow is. Well, what do you guys? Yeah, 2 hours. Actually, it won't happen tonight, but I'm with you guys. I think we're gonna do an extra hour, maybe every other week or something. Once this project's done, when we're just gonna be streaming Castle Dracula stuff. So why not? All nighter. I wish I got to get up in the morning, guys. Draw boobs like water drops. All right, so we're gonna have the shoulder here, and we're gonna get this little like tube shape. That's going to connect this to our other shoulder. And in the middle here is where we can put our neck. And that tube shape is going to give us, actually, let me back up there. I'm going to put in the hips, and we're going to use another tube shape. The hips are going to look like this. And what this does is we can do like this twisty thing. I forget the artist. I've been looking at a lot of his stuff. Kunez, I think it is. Actually, let me just pull him up on Facebook for you guys. I think you guys should all be looking at this guy. I've seen him. I've seen his stuff for a while now. But just being able to sit down and just sort of study what he's doing and try to replicate it has been actually helping me pull back. Like what you're seeing me right now is these are like fundamentals that I would sort of skip a lot of the times, and I would feel the stage out. And there's definitely arguments for not doing this. Going, like as you draw, you'll learn shorthand ways of working around things, finding creative ways to get to something quicker. But I'm just getting a little, I don't know, getting better artwork out of doing this personally. What is his name? There it is. Krenz. I always say it wrong. Krenz Kushart. And there might be some nudity here, so if you guys are shy of that stuff, just let you know. And here's our good buddy Will. Yes, we're streaming Will. Okay, so if you go to photos on this guy, boom, 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 this kind of stuff is delicious. Look at this. Look at it. I don't want it to load. This has been amazing. Just look at how he breaks down a head into like just adding this stuff. This is what I want to get into big time. This is huge to me. Look how to me I can see this, and it's simple, it's understandable. And what I really enjoy about it is like there's not much circles kind of going around. It's blocks, and blocks are very easy to move around. Now, this guy, I just want to show you how crazy this kind of anatomy is this right here, right? Like, this is insane. If I can get to this level personally, I would be a very happy camper. There's so much dynamic energy going on in here. It's very simple. I can understand it. It all makes sense. And it's absolutely wonderful. It's wonderful stuff to look at. And he does other things too, like this, that are just wild stuff. Right here where he'll show you, it's very sketchy, and I love it. I love how simple, like look how simple these shots are, and it's everything you need. And it's not that I don't think any of us are not doing this right now, but it's just that I don't know, maybe it's just me rushing into stages where it's like, slow down, just fall in love again with the process. So I'm going to post his name in the chat here for you guys, so you guys can check him out. For those of you watching YouTube, where's my cursor? It's Krenz something. I forget. Krenz Kushart. KRENZ And I just want to see if I can find one more thing just to seal the deal. A lot of wonderful stuff. I made a tweet about this the other day. I've been finding a lot of this guy is, I believe, Chinese. A lot of these Asian artists, it seems like they have a different way of learning than or studying all kinds of things like that than at least people that I talk to in North America and possibly even Europe as well. It's just a different style, obviously, aesthetics, but at the same time, it's there's something extra in here that I personally haven't been able to find, at least in the studies I've been doing. And some people might not like this sort of art, and that's cool. If you like this kind of action and dynamic stuff, I would check this guy out. If you like doing things a little bit more like an Alex Ross sort of style, that's fine too. But I would have to imagine a lot of people would love to be able to draw characters in like these extreme poses with simple anatomy that you can break down at a simple level and go from there. We're going to be moving on really quickly here. There's at least one that I wanted to try and find here, and it was hips. And I shared it a long time ago when I saw it, and right here, right, when you got a guy that's got a poster of Diablo 2, legit. And I guess he uses looks like a Cintiq companion here. That's good to know. Come on. Come on. But, like, okay, I'll just leave it with this. You guys can delve in on your own. But this is the cool stuff right here. Right? We've all looked at stuff like this. But breaking it down and just going from here, cool. This is what's really cool. Any books? What kind of books? Do you mean like comic books? Novels? Art books? So here's a little something. It's that bean that everybody talks about. But, again, there's something about this that just makes it more understandable to me than what I've been looking at. So anyway, check it out if you like his stuff. You might get something. Self-help books, inspirational books. Actually, yeah, there's a couple books. There's one that I'm going to start. It's called something like what the hell? The Happy Mornings or the bless the morning blessings or blessing morning, something like that. And the idea of it is when it's a process of waking up. I think it's like a half hour of you planning out your day and just reflecting on the day instead of just getting up in the morning and going like, oh God, I got to go to work, or that panic where, okay, eat, shower, use the washroom, shave, go. I don't want to be late for work. It is getting out of that and getting out of that mentality of just like waking up going, oh man, I slept in. What time is it? I got the rest of the day. Like, it's taking control of what your day is going to be. And there's like a little thing in there. I love this kind of stuff, this self-help kind of stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of really cool things in there. There's that. What was the other one? Oh, man. Dang. There's one that I forget. I forget. The only last one that I can remember was the 4-Hour Work Week, and I was going through that one. I highly recommend reading that book. It doesn't necessarily apply to art. I don't want to work for 4 hours. I want to work as long as I can for comics and stuff, right? But there's a lot of really cool business side to things. So if you guys are looking to network, if you guys want to get a job in comics, but you're just maybe struggling to figure out like creative ways to engage people, I highly recommend that book as well. That's the 4-Hour Work Week. You guys definitely check that out. So I'll draw this here, then we're going to do the critique here. Okay, so what I'm looking for is, it was like this, okay? So when you draw your characters, you can have this tube thing, and this would be like your collarbone, and your shoulders would pop out here, right? And in the middle here is where your neck would come out. Now what you do is you twist it. So let's just say this is the hips, and it's going like that. And you draw in the middle, this is where like your crotch would be, right? And what you do is you kind of just have this point here and this point here, and you just connect them, and you do the same on the other side, and it's really, you know, awkward. So I mean, this would be the character's butt. You'd be from behind here, right? Like this. Let me just draw it so you can go like that. So you kind of see that. I think a lot of guys draw women like this. They're doing that so you can get that huge butt shot, and then you can get the fake boobs up top. You know, that pose you see everywhere. But what it does is it helps your brain sort of understand where folds are going, like where your anatomy could possibly be going. And it was just a quick twist like that, right? And that's very cool. That's very, very cool to see. And again, this was that Krentz guy. Was that the name? Oh, okay. Well, how much do I sell the page for? Well, right now my page rate is, it depends on the project, but for like right out the gate, if somebody wanted to hire me to do pencil and inks, digital pencil and inks, it's $100 a page. I don't do original stuff anymore, so I don't really have a page rate that I know of. I would have to see what it is, so that's not really why I... Plus, some of those pages are tied up, so I can't really go into that stuff. Anyway, okay, so we got about 5 minutes left, so I'll throw it out to you guys. If you guys had something you'd like critiqued or looked over, please jam it into the chat right now, and I'll randomly pick one of you guys. And please leave a message attached to it of what it is you're looking to get out of the critique. If you don't include that, I won't look at it. And if nobody has anything for me to look at this week, that's cool too. Noah's asking while we wait here, John, can you list the 5 best books for learning to make comics? Whew. Loaded questions. Love them. All right, so let's get a big old fat brush here so I can write it so you guys can write this stuff down. So I think the first one that comes out is read and study comics. I know this isn't what you want, but it's, to me, the number one fundamental thing you can do is read the actual comic books you like to buy. If you want to work for Marvel, DC, read those books. If you like manga, if you like romance, if you like comedy, westerns, read those books. Seek them out and try to, if you can afford it, one a month. You'd be surprised if you reread a book many times over, you find little nuances, things, right? Study the panels. Find your favorite artists. See what they're doing with their panel shots. Go to the next level. And this one might be a little harder, but some people can do it. Track down scripts online that writers have done for like a Marvel book or something. Hopefully it's in a trade paperback that you can rebuy. Once you have that script, go on Amazon, go wherever, if you can buy the issue or a graphic novel, like I said, and compare the notes. See what the writer wrote and look at what they drew and see if you do things differently. That sort of stuff. Just try to figure that out, okay? The next book, a lot of people talk about, I guess, is, I think it's Making Comics. I believe that's it. by Scott McCloud. I think this is sort of like the oh man, what's it called? The It's like a school book with academic. That's it. I think this follows along the academic category of making comics. It's a good book. I really enjoyed it. This is like to get you understanding comics, but if you want to learn how to make comics and stuff, I think honestly, I think it's really just this one, the top one. What are some other books that I read? What are you guys saying in here? DC Guide to Creating Comics. I haven't read that, but you can check that out as well. I would have to go for DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics by Freddie Williams. Freddie Williams. I've talked about this book to death. That's a single book that got me confidently understanding and proving to myself that I can make comics with Photoshop. And I think I had an Intuos tablet at the time. Even a Bamboo would work. You don't need a fancy Cintiq or anything. It helps if you're like me and you like that feeling more like you're drawing on paper, you know. But even at my day job, I do painting and drawing. I use an Intuos there. I don't use a Cintiq at my day job, so it's definitely possible. Other than this, I don't know. I would go ahead and just say those are the 3 books. Oh, actually, there's another one, Framed Ink. It's a little bit more advanced. It's not going to get you understanding comic books at all, but it is very important for illustration and composition and understanding how to stage your shots. Now, I would say this book is great by itself. If you can buy the book, his own comic book, what was it? Something Steel. Maybe it'll come to me. I highly recommend if you're going to buy one of them, buy both of them together. Framed Ink is going to show you examples of what he's doing and talking about. The Steel book will actually show you it in practice. Highly wonderful stuff. Okay. So, and I'm sure you guys are just jamming in the chat room with a bunch of them, so you guys go ahead and check that out. We had somebody come in here. Trail of Steel, that's it. Thank you. Wonderful. I liked it. The story was kind of whatever, but some of the, oh man, it was it felt good. So Lars here has got a critique here, I guess. Okay, so let me just copy this. And for anybody, if this is your first time watching the critique part of the show, welcome. What I've been trying to do lately is be very aggressive, not in a demeaning way or anything, just an aggressive. In my opinion, this is what you could do to make it better or improve it, and take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's not perfect. It's not the rule of God or whatever you believe in. It's just an opinion. Okay? And it's with all intents and purposes, and I just want you guys to get better. If I can help you do that, then that's absolutely awesome. If I can't do that, I'm sorry for wasting your time. Okay, so we're going to go real quick with this one, hopefully today. I don't want to, last time I went a little bit longer than I was hoping for. So I'm just going to make it a little bigger here. And okay, so what Lars was asking, could you help me make her look older? I know it's not much, but I feel like she's looking really young. So there's one big problem, I think, in this case, is that you don't see her. You can have people walk up behind somebody and they look like a female and they turn around and it's a guy, right? So there's some things that you can do. I'm going to just scroll down here to see if can you turn her around or no? If you can't turn her around, the only thing that I can think of on the top of my head to help fix that would be her clothing has to change. She looks like what she's wearing sort of comes across as like an elementary school student. You know, it's a t-shirt and tight pants. Don't quit your I should say too, guys, don't quit your day jobs. Keep your day jobs. They'll help making your comic work. If you don't have to stress out. If the worst thing you have to do is figure out how to make time to draw your comic, that's a lot better than no income, working on a comic, wondering how you're going to feed yourself. Okay? Please make a short critique. What's that? Hamzy, Hasni, could you repost that? I don't think I saw that. Okay. Yeah, okay, so there's a few things here again. This character looks like she's very young, like you said, okay? So I would go ahead and change the clothes. Even her hair doesn't really look like it's upkept. So she's an older woman, so we're just going to break down the anatomy here, okay? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to shoot the ass out. The ass out is going to make her have a big booty, which is fine. But when it's in a nightclub, I'm assuming she doesn't fit. That's kind of where you're going with this, okay? So I'm going to just tone it down here. I'm trying to think of, like, not a soccer mom, but somebody who probably has had a kid. Okay, just in my head. That's at least the feeling I'm trying to break out of what we got going here. So she's walking in there. So we'll give her some legs. Although it looks like she's carrying books. Uh, so maybe I'm confused here. I don't know exactly what she's supposed to be doing here. So she doesn't belong. I mean, I guess that's one thing. You could have her bring her arms in like this, and you could put books kind of up here. The haircut, it's pretty important. I would do some research. I would never do somebody's hair like this. This kind of hair is always. It just looks like we don't know what the hair is doing. It kind of looks like a homeless person's hair, like kind of like that, drifted down like that. Women take a lot of effort and time in how they look. She's supposed to be around 2025. It's a nightclub and it's a phone she's holding. Oh, that's oh, okay. All right, well that changes some stuff here. So let's go ahead and fix all that. Okay, so she's in her 20s, right? So she's young. But maybe what you're saying is she looks too young. Okay, so let's back this up then. So I would have to assume girls around that age, they don't mind, kind of flaunting some stuff here. If you're in a nightclub, all right. So I'm gonna start getting some curves going here. We're gonna shoot the butt out a little bit here, but I'm not gonna just shoot it out like she's sticking it out. That's not what we want to be doing here. All right, so we're gonna go like that. Trying to find the line that would be for her leg here. Give her a little bit longer legs. The longer legs is going to help her seem more mature as well. She's starting to have a body that's... what did I say? What did I say that made it sound weird? So longer legs will make her look like she's developing a little bit here, okay? So we're going to bring the other leg in here, and you can have this one kind of coming up like she's walking. Now she's looking at her phone. Let's get the head in here. If she's looking at her phone, there's no reason to hide it here. Let's look at the phone here. Actually, no, nobody would hold their phone that way. Actually, let's be a little realistic here. Everybody's got snap necks when they're looking at their... Women take a long time. Oh, she knows she takes... My girlfriend knows she takes a long time getting ready. So you could probably bring her hand down like this. We need to show the phone for, what's it called? Story purposes, but you can just tilt your head down. Something like that. And as for the hair then, you could probably, I don't know, do some layering stuff. You can still have the long hair. I'm just going to kind of carve in some shapes here. Women, I guess, don't be afraid, guys, of every now and then, every year, maybe once a year if you really want to, every 6 months, buy like a Cosmo magazine and then like a men's wardrobe book. I don't know what they're called, a magazine. I haven't done this in a long time, but I used to do it, and I would just leave it at my table and just replace it. And what I would do is if I ever had to draw clothes or something, I could just flip through and go, like, okay, I guess that's in style. Because I don't have style. I wear t-shirts and pants. I don't have fancy layering going on and colors that contrast with each other. I just want to draw. I don't care what I look like. Oh, man, this is getting depressing. So do that. Research some stuff here. I'm just guessing here. Let's give her a purse. A purse will automatically make her feel older. She's got adult things she needs at all times because you never know, right? So let's be realistic. She's gonna have that there. Maybe she'll have one of those what do girls wear here? Kind of like a jacket here, like a blazer or something. I don't know. Pants? Do you need pants? Do you need a skirt? What do you need here? I don't know. You figure this out. I'm not going to. I can't design this stuff, but these are just things I'm thinking of. So maybe just do it like that. Okay, so you can see right away there's a difference, and it's mostly just in the actual body. The body here is proportioned to like a preteen or something, right? So as long as you just, let's see, like I'll show you here. If you were to just go ahead and just, that butt's got to get fixed. It's just, I don't know. When we draw butts that look like, okay, well here's a butt, right? And you're getting your legs like, right away this is starting to feel very, what's the word I want to look for? I want to be tasteful here. It's like a Nicki Minaj album or something. You know what I mean? Like it's, hey, here's my big butt. This, you know, you're not gonna. Nobody draws like somebody that's serious, like a lawyer looking like this, unless, and this is a problem, okay? But unless the lawyer is trying to like win people over with her body, kind of thing, right? Like when you're drawing women, right? When you're drawing like the top torso here, if you're shooting like the butt out like this, again, we talked about this at the beginning. That's one thing. People are allowed to have big body parts and stuff, right? But when you're doing this and you're doing silly things like bringing the shoulders up, and then you're giving them like these retarded looking, you know, something like this. It's all tight just so we can get that really big crease between the breast here that guys like, you know. It's just so over the top that it's, come on. And let's just assume this character was like a lawyer. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? It's too much. It's too much. Yeah, exactly. It's basically how the 90s version of drawing women. They would always do the triangle stuff. Okay? How did it go? You could follow the collarbone and go this way with it. Like that. And this gave you their hips. Maybe it's too high. And it would come like this. And then you cut it in like that. That would give you the torso. And then you could do little arms like this. And they would always flare the arms out with their hands up with their fingers like this. But what they would always do with the boobs and this, oh my god, is this. Please just stop doing that. For the sake of your heart, stop doing this. Okay, so somebody else had a quick critique we're going to do, and then we're going to wrap it up. Hopefully, one other thing I guess I'll say, draw the way you want to draw, even though I just told you not to do this. Just be cautious of it. I mean, if this is the style you want to go for, do it. Do what you want to do. Unless the character needs to be like this, I would rather, this is the storytelling and character part that I'm going into myself, and this is why I don't like to do this, okay? If all of my women that I drew in my comics or my books look like this, let's say somebody comes across in the story that's like a succubus or a prostitute or just somebody that's very sexual. What else could I possibly do to make them stand out and make them look more sexual than this? They're already doing it. You know, like they got their boobs hanging out and they got the big butt sticking out and stuff, you know, and they're not wearing anything. I don't know how you make it more sexy than that. It's kind of like when you're drawing an action book and just say the whole book hinges around a dramatic car chase scene. If everything you do in that book is action, the chase, the run, the gun shooting, getting into a car, almost crashing, doing all that stuff. If the whole book is action, none of it's action. You need those people just talking, sipping coffee, talking back and forth, and all of a sudden, boom, explosion, and they're going. Now that's how you get tempo and change and things like that, right? So if you have women dressing like how women normally dress, you know, like society-approved women, you have her next to, you know, somebody walking by in the red dress, and you want to shoot the hips out, you know, and she's got there, she's showing a little bit of leg. She's walking through, you know, the city like that. Maybe she's got her hair blowing, and she's got the big fake boobs like that. Now you see what I'm saying here? There's a difference here. There's a character change that's happening here, and it makes what you're telling stories here, right? That's the whole point of what we're doing here. We're not trying to make the best illustrations we can. We're telling a story. So if I have to show somebody sexy, everybody else can't be sexy. If I want to draw the Hulk, and I'm rambling here, guys, so I'll wrap it up in a second. If I'm drawing the Hulk, and he's like a big gorilla guy like this, right? Look how big he is. Roar, right? big hands, cool. If I drew Captain America a little shorter, big arms, massive shield, it's cool, right? But he looks like he could take the Hulk here, right? Whereas if you drew Captain America, whoops, sorry, if you drew Captain America maybe a little bit more like a Superman character, you know, that swimmer's build where everything's kind of like a triangle, but they're still pretty big. Now, we all know Cap could probably take the Hulk, but you see what I'm saying here? There's a radical difference, and when you need to say, like, oh, God, now you have to fight the Hulk, you know, you're kind of like, uh-oh, can this guy do it? I hope he does it. But in this case, it kind of looks like, well, you know, it's like, yeah, they could probably take him. Right? So, anyway, let me just go back up there. We'll answer that one thing, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so Hansi is saying, can you look up if you can tell if this is a good way to show a character entering a room and opening the door? Okay. And I was just scrolling up there, and somebody was saying something about, if I caught it right, that this sort of look here, it sells. That, you know, as much as I was kind of just having my whole story about it, like this sells. Absolutely, it does. 100% it does. No, marketing pays way too much money for a guy like me to come across and say no. You know, so do what you got to do. I'm just saying, grow some balls when you can, and take a stand where you feel like you need to. Right? If you're drawing the X-Men. Pick one of them that you like the most. If you like Jean Grey, I think Jean Grey's the hottest. Maybe you're no, man. Storm is smoking hot. Rogue, oh my God. Pick one of them and maybe give them the sexy twist. You know, like, don't make the other girls hideous or too real that it's not a comic book. But there's ways that you can go about it to make some people a little bit more appealing, and I think that they'll shine a little bit more that way. Okay. Okay. So, come on. What are you doing? Let's get this image in here. Where'd it go? Okay, so we're going to move it up there. We're going to bring this down here just so we can take a look. And I believe the question was, does this look like... I'm just going to go ahead and... shwa, the door opens. I like that. This will get flagged on YouTube? I hope so. We'll see what happens. Can you look... Okay, can I look at this and tell if this is a good way to show a character entering the room and opening the door? Okay. So here we go. Let's go through there. That's what we need to figure out for our buddy here. If looking in the room and entering, if this is a good way of doing it. Okay, so there's the one of the big things here that I'm not jiving with right now. So we've got our character looking left to right. Great. I'd probably put a little bit of effect, some gray effect in here this way. That way when we see panel 2, it relates. You know, like now they look a little bit more like they belong. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. I don't think you guys can see this as best as you can. So maybe going like that. This black panel, I think you probably have it in here for style. What I would do is I would jazz it up a little bit, maybe round this out a bit, just to make this feel, if you want to go with this rectangle shape anyway, more like you're looking through the peephole possibly. You can get like some cool reflections. I don't know, maybe you could, I don't want to put an eye in here because that might feel a little weird. But you could definitely punch this up here. Actually, what you might want to do too, and I'm just spitballing here, is maybe just, I don't know how well this works out for what you're doing, but turning this into a circle so that it's sort of like the peephole. Maybe. I don't know. You can try it out there. Okay. Let's go in there. Do not come into my room with all this blood. And then it's like, what the heck just happened in here? Okay. So what I don't like is you have the door opening here, right? It's opening. If this door was fully opening, it would be going this direction, right? And the guy's head would be poking out here. But in this last panel, it's poking on the wrong side. So, a quick fix here. So that's better already, just by going through there. I don't think you need to show this eye hole here. I believe you did that because you're just going back and forth. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly redraw it here, if I can, and see if we can get anything different here. So some of the remember. Always try to figure out what the most important part is here. So you got this establishing shot is being creeped out by the room. Okay, like that's cool. So I'm going to kind of keep the same panel you have here. We'll have the big money shot here of the creepy room. So the problem I have here is the person's looking into the peephole, kind of getting freaked out by the room, and then they're pulling back. Or maybe they're just, this is what they're actually freaked out about. I'm not 100% sure. So in this case, maybe what I would do, I don't know if you need the peephole, unless this is part of the script. I'm not sure, okay? But I would probably, maybe we could do like some Greg Capullo sort of stuff here. So in the extreme foreground, what we're going to do is we're going to put a door handle. And we're going to have our character. So this would be as if you were laying on the ground with the camera looking up. And maybe he's looking down here, and you could have the hand like this. Maybe just put like some hallway stuff here. And you could probably get creative with your lighting too. I mean, if you're playing with horror here, which it seems like you are, you're probably going to want to play with lighting. We're going to stack the black on white here just so we can kind of get it. Hopefully you can see what's going on there. Let me use, I know it's a little zoomed out, so you guys are probably having a hard time. I'm just zoom in a little bit here. And what I'll do as well, I'll highlight the information here, okay? So I put a door, he's in a hallway. The hand's coming up, reaching for the doorknob. Like this, okay? Just so you can see it there, make it a little easier. All right, so we could actually build tension here, right? What we could do is, I'm going to add 2 more panels here. Keep the same angle of his face. A little close up there, and then possibly we can have the hand on the doorknob. And the only reason these 2 panels exist is I'm trying to get the pacing once again. That build up for the reveal, you know. Reaching for it, look at his face, opens it. Now we can get the money shot. Maybe he hasn't seen the room yet, right? But this is where we get to see the room before he does. That's always a fun little trick to do, is letting the reader see it before he sees it. So what I'm going to do here to make it extra creepy, at least try, I'm going to imagine we're on the wall or on the roof looking down into the room. It's a really unnatural angle. It'll let us do this with the door. This way we can still play with the lighting coming in, and we can have the character here kind of getting ready to come in. And you'd have, what did you have? You had like a bed or something, blood all over the place. You had the cool writing on the wall, all that stuff. What I would do as well, one of the things is always trying to figure out what's it called? Lighting. How do I get light into a room to make certain things? Because I could fill this all black, but that's not as cool as getting like some weird lighting, right? So let's put a window in the room, and that'll let us cast some weird shadows and stuff. Like all this could be in shadow, all this whole door kind of thing. And he's gonna come in and bring in new light, something like that. So door's opening. Let's put him here with his hand. Ah, crap. And we need that bed. Yeah, we need the window. And of course, the blood. Something horrible happened here, I am sure. Okay. Gross blood, gross blood. So what the heck just happened in here? I don't know who's saying that. I'm assuming this guy's saying it from seeing blood, right? So we need to have this cat be surprised. So I'm going to just wrap it up with 2 panels here. We can have... I'm going to change the angles here too, just to make them feel a little bit more like they don't belong. I'm going to tilt them. Okay. And these could be anything. I like the idea that you had here of him finally looking over the door. We're going to do kind of like an undershot again. Just creeping around. You can also have the door, his hand on the door kind of thing. Do what kind of dread things you want to do there. And then the panel before that, maybe he sees blood, right? He doesn't have to be in the room just yet. We don't have to show that. So this could be the hallway where he's opening the door like this, right? He's not totally in the door just yet, or in the room. I don't know if you understand what I'm drawing here. Put the little peephole that way. We could have like the whole room still in shadow or whatever. Maybe there's a little bit of blood on the floor. So the big thing to remember when doing this, you guys, for me anyway, is what is the story? That's it. That's all you need to remember. As tough and as hard as comics are, I think you'll always find that you're at your safest when you're always remembering what is the story, what is the point. So you'll know what the panel's about, and then do your best to try to understand how this is all going together and how does it feel. So this is just the different versions here, okay? So the one thing that I would recommend doing, and I can still tell you're getting used to drawing and stuff, there's a lot of perspective problems, but spend some time, some extra time just doing your studies with perspective, and you'll be able to more confidently understand some shots, kind of like what we have here, where moving the camera around makes you feel differently, right? It makes you feel uneasy. Right, we are using comics here, so you got to be able to abuse it as best you can. So hopefully that helped you out. Hopefully there's something in there that, I don't know, maybe helped you think of some stuff. Hopefully it was a little bit of help to you. But that's it. I want to say thank you guys once again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. What else can we say here? Oh, once again, you guys can check out my website and my work at jonathanrector.com. You can head on over to patreon.com. I got some Manga Studio brushes over there if you guys are interested in that. I've also got some one-on-one, I guess, I would say coaching or tutoring sessions, but we can talk about whatever you want, similar to what we're doing right now. I can go over your work. We can just talk about the business stuff. Anything you like. A lot of people will seem to enjoy it, so that's over there, and that's available at patreon.com/JonathanRector. And if you guys don't want to do any of that, if I could ask you guys to do one thing for me, just one more extra favor on the stack of favor sandwiches that you guys give me all the time. If you wouldn't mind sharing, liking, retweeting, wherever you guys are seeing this on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere, however you got here, all that stuff. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing it with your other art friends and stuff, I really appreciate that. Yeah, you guys doing that and people randomly finding the streams and stuff are what keeps this going. And thank you once again for coming in tonight, you guys. I hope you guys had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast. All that good stuff. So, without anything else, you guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, wherever you're at. And like usual, you guys, keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll see you next week. Bye.